Oh, cockdoodle.
Oh, fuck.
Dude. Damn it! Abort!
Nick has died.
Welcome to the Spindash Retro Gaming Podcast. Prepare yourself for the joy of classic gaming. Fired straight into your delicate little ear holes. Fire away.
What if? What if you
Okay,
the thing
look
is,
at these.
here's the thing is, I know my vehicle won't make it there.
That's fair.
That's where I'm at. So if I do it, I had to do a Friday, and I'd have to snag a ride with one of you guys.
Get Justin. Yeah.
The most unreliable one.
Who knows when he'd go and leave? Sorry I missed the boat. I saw a shiny quarter by the side of the road.
Because that is my fear, is my car will just not start.
Well, if you're going to get a new car next week, then problem solved.
Well, I don't know. That's the thing. The whole thing is, I don't know if that's going to happen, because for that to work, I need to sell my car, use that car for a down payment, use that payment for that price for a down payment.
Yeah.
And I do have to have it has to move smoothly. So
I love the fact that no matter what answer you came up with, Nick, if you I had to donate a kidney next week, John would be like, well, let me see. I've got this guy, and he could take the kidney out, and we could do this. No matter what you say, John will have some skeezy plan that he's gonna pitch by you.
I really want to go. John, I need this.
You love it out there, man. I'm just saying, you, me, Justin, Matt, it would be a good time. And I'll put you guys to work, and I'll feed you, and I'll get you drunk.
You could throw your clothes off again and tell us about your life's troubles.
It's a good.
Because the last boat is a 4 o'clock boat, I believe.
Yep.
Look at him think. Look at the gears spinning.
I'm trying to think this out.
Yeah. Well, Nick, while you're trying to think this out, for the listeners, fuck you.
What?
So John, you don't understand because you don't know these things. I get on Twitter and Nick, you fucking asshole. So I get on Twitter and Nick tweets at me and he's like, so are we doing Metal Gear Solid this week? It's like, you fucking dick. And so I tweet back this like Wolf of Wall Street where he's flipping his shit. He's like, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad? Just poking the bear before we start this fucking shit show. So we're not there yet. We're not ready for that. But for the listeners, we're not doing Metal Gear Solid.
Well, hey, again. You know what? That was a dick move what you guys did. You left me in the dust. I'm like, oh, I just see random pictures of you guys playing the now is the game of the week. I'm not going to say it right off. I'm like, oh, there's Matt's just dicking around like he did with my game. I don't feel like playing Nick's game right now. Let's play this. I'm like, oh, he's doing the same thing. So
you didn't check the chat for a week.
Guys, switch to Discord. Doesn't check Discord.
Yeah, right? You let us off there, and you're like, it's like corralling us. It's like, oh, we'll get them off this thing, and then we'll never check it again. We'll close the pen.
It's like a drug dealer, man.
we didn't hear from Nick for 2 weeks, and except for sending us TikTok videos.
That's all you did. It was like, oh, here's a TikTok video. We'd reply back about your TikTok video. No fucking response.
To be honest, I have been extremely busy this last 2 weeks. That's what I figured. I've been literally studying night and day every time I have a chance. This new job it entails a lot, but it's going to pay off. To a point where I'm like, oh, I can go buy this. Yes, I have no problem dropping X for this.
$300 on Pokemon Yellow?
The ticket.
Yeah. I would never. Well, when I saw it, John, I'm like, holy shit. I didn't think you'd pay $300 for him. When he said that, I'm like, $300? I'm like, okay. I thought, oh, he found someone, old grandma that was, getting rid of all her grandkids or kids' stuff. Hey, here you go. John just got, because you've been pulling some magical steals lately.
We got to talk about pickups because your pickups are stupid. Yeah. We're going to take a good half an hour to dedicate to the goddamn bullshit you've pulled off lately.
I wait for months and then I get the glory.
It fucking blows his wad
Oh,
all
I'm gonna steal it because my territory is where you live, buddy. I'm gonna be having the marketplace on like constant. And I'm like, nope, you know what? Fuck you, John. I'm gonna get this no matter what.
Nah, okay.
Yeah,
we'll
but
race.
but you always go through normal channels, Nick. John goes through like ripping off grandmas off in the wilderness.
True.
Oh, your beloved grandchild.
I'll be helping grandmas, and he's been stealing from them.
Oh, I'll give you $350 for that. $350.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, just open a window for me. I'll go in and steal their Nintendo collection.
Dude, you
fucking.
The thing
ass.
is, like, let's talk about your pickups. Like, do we have to do an intro? Because
fuck the intro. You know what? We hate our listeners. We proved that last week by skipping an episode and refusing to check Discord.
Guys,
and
welcome to
not
Spindash.
tweeting.
Okay, John, tell us what you got.
Yeah. Well, since we last talked, what did I get? My coworker, beginning of the pandemic, my coworker had 2 kids. He had a kid during COVID.
Fuck.
And his oldest son was like 4. And he called me one day. He's like, "Hey man, you have a bunch of Nintendo stuff, right?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, Can I borrow a Wii with like some games and all that jazz?" And I said, "Of course, come on down. I'll load you up." And so I did. And I think that was April 2020. And we were out getting beers in the spring. A guy was leaving work for another company. So we all got together and he goes, "Oh, hey, I still got your stuff. And you collect, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I collect some old things." He's like, "Oh, I got this bag of old stuff." And I was like, "Okay." So I went over to his house and it was like a Game Boy Color, a Game Boy Advance.
Oh,
and
I
like
fucking
20
hate
games,
you.
I think. And I don't even, yeah.
Yeah, but
there's a couple good ones.
You're just a coy piece of shit about this too. Is the biggest problem? You're like, I don't know. There might be some things in there that people could like. I don't know. I guess it's all
John,
junk.
I fucking hate you so much right now.
Your Game Boy Color picks, they're all fucking gems.
Yeah,
Dragon Warrior, Wario Land. It's like you.
Yeah,
Pokemon Crystal. It's like you dick.
The Game Boy Color doesn't work. I
won't.
So I'm gonna take it apart and
I'll give you $30 for it.
Nope, I'm modding it.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that EverDrive or whatever and figure out how to put all Game Boy and Game Boy Color games on that with a light up screen.
Oh, is it?
That'll be winter.
The IQ5 or something like that.
Doesn't that have a touch screen too? Like a touch sensitive,
the sensors run up to the top of the Game Boy, and like depending if you touch the top of the Game Boy, it'll let you change like different settings.
Oh, cool! Yeah,
you can do like different, like a light, like if you want to do what is that, natural blue, or what is it, like
the color of the screen?
Yeah, like you change it so it's not hurting your eyes or some shit like that.
It's amazing.
Nice. Oh, John, I
hate you, John. You're such a piece of fucking shit.
Are you modding both? Because you got an SP too. Right?
Yeah. I haven't tested that one because I need a charger cord for it.
I so happen to have his charger still.
Don't give him that, John. He's just gonna drop it off his car again. Don't
Fuck
give him
you.
that.
Right?
He's just gonna fucking break it.
Actually, I want to go your route, Matt. I really do want to hit your route. I do want the OG GBA modded.
It just fits the hands nice.
It looks good.
It looks sexy.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
I'll find another one of those.
Yeah, you will.
Is that SP you got? Is that it looked like an 001? Was it 001? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was the other?
Rip that out and just put a friggin' 101 in there.
Yeah. Okay, I think that was it. Oh, I got another regular Nintendo.
Nice. Does this one work?
Yeah.
You haven't boiled your pins yet, though. It did.
Nah, I gotta do that. There's a honeydew list for my gaming collection for the winter.
Well, John, I haven't been
indoors much.
I am lacking a NES in my collection.
Yeah, you had one and you sold it.
I never. I did, didn't I? Way back.
Yup.
Holy shit, that was from
way back.
Nice
yeah,
pull.
I sold that when I was in. I think I was living in. Yeah, I did.
Your first house.
Yeah, it was.
I remember that.
I did. I don't know why I sold that.
I was like, "Don't sell it! Don't sell it!" And you sold it. Of course, I've sold dumb shit too.
And I don't think I got a good price for it either.
Yeah.
I think I got
Sold it for $10.
I think it was like I sold that. I think I sold a Wii, and I think I sold a PS2. No.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. I sold a PS2.
Oh boy.
So you had no PS2, or you have?
I had an old PS2. So it was Bob's. Some of it was Bob's. The NES, and I think the NES I got somewhere. I can't remember where I got the NES.
It's okay.
No, the NES I think was Bob's, and the PlayStation was Bob's. Old PlayStation 2. Didn't have a great game collection. It was like AT Off Road, stuff like that.
Yeah. Nick, any pickups for you this week? Or John, would you want to outline any things you got? Or are you just going to play coy? Like, I got a ton of shit valued at probably about $1,000, and I'm just going to say, oh, well, I got stuff.
I gotta look back to see. I forgot what games they were.
Such an ad. You don't have to list them all, but we've outlined a couple.
Wario Land, Pokemon Crystal, Shadowgate, Prince of Persia, Wario Land 3, Donkey Country, Dragon Warrior 3, WWF Warzone.
That's legit.
Some titles. And then I got a bunch of PlayStation games from some woman that lived I was like, oh, I could scoot up there on my way into the office. It was an hour out of my way. I was so late to work. I told my boss too. I was like, yeah, I was a little late this morning. I had to go buy some video games. He just laughed.
That's only in your profession is that legit.
I did get Metal Gear Solid for $5. So
well, congrats. We're never going to fucking play it.
Yeah.
What's it matter? We're never going to play it. We're never going to play it. I'm so black pilled. I'm in this like dark mode. Like we're never. I give up. We're never going to play Metal Gear Solid.
I will give you a surprise for your birthday. How's that sound?
I already own it. That's why I want to play it. For my birthday, You'll let us play it?
I'll beat it by your birthday.
That's not going to happen.
No,
it's not going to happen. This is a 2-year lie. We're living a fucking lie. We were supposed to, you know what episode we were supposed to play Metal Gear Solid? When we played Resident Evil. That is when we were supposed to have played this fucking game. This podcast is a joke. Just absolute shit show. Fuck.
Nick, we got to make it up to him. Man.
I know we do.
You did. All right.
You guys are crushing my soul, but I do have pickups that will cheer me up.
Well, wait.
What you got?
Yeah.
So I got Castle of Illusion for Game Gear because you're
hopping on that Sega train hard.
Game Gear, baby.
Yeah, and
right?
Fun fact that in the future might gonna be some more Game Gear games because I like collecting for Game Gear. I find it fun.
It's still fairly cheap?
Depending on what you go after. Some things are reasonable. It's not as crazy as the Nintendo stuff, but most good stuff on the Game Gear is under $20. A couple of things that are crazy, but my big pickup is I got a Mega EverDrive Pro.
Ooh,
hey,
yeah, it's pretty cool. Like Crix is the one that makes it, and it basically lets you. It's the same thing as my SD to SNES, so I can play the entire Sega Genesis library. It'll play Sega CD. It'll play old Master System games, and it runs all off the Genesis. It's pretty cool. It was a pretty good snag. So that's pretty exciting. Well, I wanted to play that Demons of Astapor game that I was telling you guys about. Oh,
yeah. The homebrew, right?
Yeah. I was really excited about that. And I was like, well, this pushed me over the edge. And Nick, you've been picking nothing but Sega games. Like, I want to say you had like 3 in a row or 2 in a row for Sega. It's like, well, I got to be able to play this on real hardware. So you pushed me to this. This is your fault.
Yeah. Oh, I feel lonely.
That's okay. You're just charging up like John. You're going to walk in and blow your wad sometime with some crazy, stupid pickup that you screwed over grandma for.
Ooh.
This is jealousy rearing its ugly head.
I saw that. Like, I'm impressed, John, for that being in like storage. That box being in such great condition. Are the other boxes like that too?
I took good care. Yeah, I took good care of my stuff. Mainly because I left a bunch of stuff at my dad's house in that closet actually. So they were all in totes. In totes for 20 years, just covered, sitting in there. Nobody touched them.
And now that you're old, you're right back into it.
Right back into it.
I gotta get my television console going.
Yeah,
The
you do.
saga.
It's I don't know like. It shows that it's connected. It's obviously powering on with this. And what I did was I replaced the AV cable, but I used like a new AV cable. But I don't know if it's because it's just the yellow adapter part. If that's literally will only do video and won't do any audio, maybe that's why it's not working at all. I don't know. And I really don't want to take it apart. Like, I really don't want to go take it apart.
I'm going to buy a television, sneak it into your house and replace it. You'll never know. And you'll wake up someday like, oh my God, it's working.
Like, I have all these games for it I want to play. Like, I really want to play the original Donkey Kong on it.
You have fucking Burger Time,
Yeah,
if I remember right.
Burger
That game's awesome.
Time. Oh man, I remember that in the arcade way back
I got
when.
a couple Tron games.
Nice. I will say that Justin and I played Tecmo on the Nintendo when we were all together on the Switch, like the NES
Played
classic. Tecmo Bowl. Like
the
football game.
Tecmo Bowl. Okay. All right.
We got into it, man. Once we figured it out, because it was kind of janky to like go back and try to figure out what everything did, since we're used to playing like Madden and all that shit. But yeah, that was fun, dude. Simple games.
So, John, you just mentioned the Tecmo Bowl.
Yes.
A legendary NES game made by Tecmo. Do you want to talk about another legendary NES game also made by Tecmo?
I thought this was Konami.
No,
This is Tecmo.
Dick. This is Tecmo, my friend. This week's game of the week is Ninja Gaiden. Insert pause for music. Da, da, da. So, first off, I'm going to say to the listeners right now, I'm going to apologize to you. So, the correct pronunciation is Ninja Gaiden. That is not how I was raised. That is not what we called it growing up. So, as the podcast goes on, and as my glass full of bourbon gets oh shit, John's gone.
Oh, snap. He'll come back.
John, what happened?
Well, my apologies, fellas. I didn't realize my laptop wasn't plugged in to the power bar, and it gave me the warning, and I said, whoops, and I went to plug it in. Very simple, but the warning, actually, it just shut it off. You know how it says, like, your PC battery's low, and it gives you, like, a couple minutes, maybe? Not this time. The warning was the death.
You dick.
I'm sorry.
Well, so we were starting, and we were talking about the game of the week, which is Ninja Gaiden. And I was apologizing, and I am apologizing to our listeners that as the episode goes on and as I drink more and more, I'm going to drop the proper pronunciation of Ninja Gaiden and call it Ninja Gaiden, because that's what we all called it growing up. When you talk to somebody on the playground, it's fucking Ninja Gaiden. You talk to, and if you talk to some like elitist Nintendo nerd, they're going to be all pissed off if you call it Ninja Gaiden. It's actually Gaiden. So I know that's the wrong way to pronounce it, but I'm undoing 30-something years of knowing it that way. So forgive me.
You are forgiven.
So, do either of you two have any experience with Ninja Gaiden?
I played this at my friend's house for a hot second, and that's it. I don't
Really?
remember much about it. Yeah, it was rough, man. I died a lot. And yeah, we played it for a little bit, and then that was it. It was hard. I'll admit that. I remember just playing a little bit and being like, "Well, okay, I'm done," because I died like 6 times in 5 minutes, and that was that. So it's been on the shelf in my brain. I just remember it being hard, and Matt talking about it a few times when he'd be like, "Real men play Ninja Gaiden."
Get good.
Get good. So that's been it for me. What about you guys?
Nick,
what
you got
about you?
any? You got any? Oh, cockdoodle. What the fuck? Either that or Nick has died. Nick is just like flopped over on his side.
He's in a reflective state right now.
He's thinking hard about Ninja Gaiden.
Ryu's curse lives.
Nick,
No
what
experience.
is your experience with this one? Oh, he's a virgin.
No experience at all. Actually, I don't know if this is the main character, Ryo Hayabusa. So I'm wondering, is he the character that's also in what is that fighting game there? Dead or Alive?
Oh, Dead or Alive? Yes.
Yeah. So he's actually in Dead or Alive because so technically that is my only.
Yeah.
I mean, besides the name, that's my only introduction to the character was playing Dead or Alive on the Xbox.
Well, you definitely had the right introduction. So I picked this game because, John, you said you weren't going to be able to finish Metal Gear Solid in time. So I wanted a game that I could finish quickly, but was also kind of a fuck you. And I feel like this game is a very well-placed fuck you. We haven't played a game, I think, that's been this difficult, or one that you guys might bitch as much about since maybe Battle of Olympus, right?
It's in your wheelhouse.
So, like Battle of Olympus,
the jumping in that.
Oh fuck! Nick's breaking up. Damn it,
dude.
Oh,
can you hear
Nick.
me?
Now we can. You just went toaster for like 30 seconds.
We heard nothing you said.
It went.
Well, no, I went silent because I was waiting for you if I was going to hear anything from you.
Where is he recording this?
Abort.
He's in a fucking nuclear bunker.
I'm in the same
He's
place.
to the other desk. You went across the room, didn't you?
Yeah, so
He can't even answer.
I think you disturbed the juju, man. It's all fucked up.
I don't know if he's answering us right now or if he's just smiling. I don't know what's happening.
Do you want me to help you run an Ethernet cable when I come down?
Could you run a cable from your house to his house, like this, like long fucking spool?
I mean, mine's a little less up here because I'm, the dad's walls are like thicker than a bunker, but I don't know. Yeah.
I had no problem. I ran a full WebEx meeting for 4 hours. No goddamn problem.
Nick, I think you cut out. So why I picked this game, I feel like I've said this like 15 times, but I don't actually know what we're keeping for recordings. It's been the worst technical difficulty night we've had. Other than Super Metroid, that is by far the most technically, that was an editing nightmare. This game, like Battle of Olympus, is one that I grew up with. I had this at my grandmother's house. My uncle left his NES games there when he moved on to the Genesis, so we had something to play there. So like Battle of Olympus, which was a kick in the dick for you guys, I kind of picked this game as a spite pick. We're not playing Metal Gear Solid again, so fuck you. You get Ninja Gaiden. So yeah, this game is like it's one that I don't think I can separate the nostalgia, like my love of playing this game as a kid, from like if I tried to rank, or try to come up with a score or something like that. Like that would be very hard for me because this is just a game that was always around when I was growing up. Like This and Castlevania informed a lot of my gaming loves today.
Yeah.
So, John, when you're always shitting on me like, oh, you're a fucking masochist, and it's like, well, yes, that's since age 5, man.
You were forged in the fire. Yeah, you grew up on the tough ones, dude. I remember talking about that a long time ago. And there's no better example than this one.
So do you know any of the development of this bad boy?
No, I did not do a whole lot of research on this one.
Nick, I hope you're still there. I'm going to keep talking as if you are. Blink twice if you're in Milwaukee. So we're talking about Ninja Gaiden for the NES. There's actually multiple games that are all named Ninja Gaiden, and they're all relatively different. There's a Ninja Gaiden on the Game Gear, which is one of the games that I'm actually hunting for. There's Ninja Gaiden, which is an arcade game. That game was actually being developed concurrently with the NES game. There's Ninja Gaiden, which was released on the Master System. I believe that was released. I don't think we got a release of that in the US. I think that's like strictly Europe and then Japan, possibly. But that was released after these 3. So on the NES, there's actually 3 Ninja Gaiden games. So we played the first Ninja Gaiden. This game was released in Japan in December of 1988. We got it in 1989 in March. And Europe, because fuck Europe, they got it in like 91, like August or something crazy like that.
Oh, yeah.
It also had ports to the PC Engine, which Hudson did, which was a goddamn abomination. And then it also was featured in the Ninja Gaiden Trilogy for Super Nintendo. And that came out, I think, in 95. So it was developed and published by Tecmo. And I feel like Tecmo was a bigger publisher then than they are now. I really don't. That's not a name that I think of. That's common. But John, you mentioned earlier the Tecmo Bowl. They had other
that's
games
what
like
everybody would know them for. Yeah, that game was huge.
They had Rygar.
Yep.
They had Solomon's Key, the Monster Rancher series.
Monster Rancher.
Yeah. All I can think of is like the little green guy with the yellow guy with a big eye.
Oh, okay. I don't remember that one.
It came out kind of in the same line of Digimon and all those. Pardon me. Like pocket monsters, like where they become big.
Gotcha.
So it was written and directed by Hideo Yoshizawa. The only other name that I think that you guys would recognize is, you ever played the game Klonoa for the PS1? I think there's also a Wii port of it.
No.
Great game. It's going on my list. Not nearly as hard. And the artwork, or especially like the cutscenes, which we'll talk about a little bit shortly, was done by Masato Kato. And this was his first major project. One other small project that he was heavily involved in would be Chrono Trigger.
Ooh.
Also, I think Xenogears. I think he was also in Chrono Cross. So
nice.
Well-known dude cut his teeth on the cutscenes on this game. So let's get into it, guys. How would you describe this game? Like, what would you consider it?
It kind of reminded me of the old Ninja Turtle. So the only thing I could recall the Ninja Turtle game for the Nintendo, as far as this, like the stylized, just kind of just going through each level, and you can pick up items. I will say one thing I actually like and hate about this game is the jumping.
All right.
I thought it was a lot easier to do wall jump off into another item than it was playing Super Metroid. But at the same time, good lord, you had to be fucking precise on your jumps too. I fall in every freaking pit known to man. Also, those, I don't know what it was, one of the creatures, the dog or whatever that dashes across. I didn't kill one of those bastards. They always nail me. So I actually emulated this. So I don't know if this is playing on the handheld was just no bueno in some aspects.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's not having a traditional D-pad, as it were. Will say those cutscenes are magnificent, though.
For a game made in '88.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed the cutscenes.
So the cutscenes are cool in this too. In that, so in the manual they talk about the cutscenes, and they refer to them as techno theater. According to them, this is a means for them to feature a dramatic storyline to go along with the game. So I gotta think that it was such a new concept that they were just trying to put their mark on it.
Like, it's kind of like playing like a comic book where, like, was it when the girl walks in on Rio, the next thing you know, you see a gun pulled on them, then like they're pow, what happened? So I enjoyed it. I mean, it's hard in the sense of, because I think back then Nintendo games were just naturally hard no matter what. Because you had to figure out the pattern. Something that I was caught completely off guard with this game was the respawn.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I got into
Very
a respawn.
unforgiving.
I got into a respawn loop where the enemy just kept on. Like, I kill one, boom, killed one, boom. And I was trying to move past to stop them from respawning. And next thing I know, I had, like, at one point, I think I got just a gang of them just all coming at once. I was like, I'm about to get gang raped hard. Sure enough.
That's the motto of Ninja Gaiden. I'm going to get gang raped hard.
Ugh.
Yeah. So like a lot of games in the era, this is a side-scrolling platformer, I guess is how I would describe it. Yep. And Nick, you made a comment about this game was kind of, you mentioned it was difficult just with the way the placement of things worked. I guess the philosophy of what they had in mind when they were making this game was that if the game wasn't hard enough, they figured that the owner of the game would just like throw away the cart when they were done. So they made it purposefully hard so that you didn't just throw the damn thing away. That difficulty, just so you know, there is a famous bug in this game where you get to the last level, and if you die fighting the boss, so the way the levels are divided up, there's a series of acts, and each act there's multiple levels. Between including a boss fight, including 2 levels to 4 levels, somewhere in that range. So I think in total the game has 20 areas that you've got to go through. We'll talk about that in a sec, I suppose. They found a bug that if you fought the boss and died, that it would send you back to the beginning of the act, not the beginning of the level that you were on. And they said, well, that's kind of cool. We like that. We're going to leave that in because it makes the game harder. So when they made this game, there was a purpose, and that purpose was to make a difficult, challenging game.
And there's different levels, too, for this game, right? Like, can you unlock where it's, like, from easy, in a sense, to, like, God level, like, oh my God, I there's no way I'm getting through this. Like, I thought I read something about that.
I will say the difficulty when you get past, I don't know, maybe the 3rd or 4th level, spikes really friggin' hard. John, how that's a good question for both of you, though. How far did you guys make it in this game?
I made it to 5-2, I think, or 5-3.
Okay.
There's one point where there's the enemies that have like jetpacks, and they like throw the stars down at you as they're flying across the screen.
Yep.
And I couldn't get this one jump because the respawn with the guy that was coming at you and then the jetpack guy, there was like 3 enemies right there, and I just couldn't get past it. And so I was like, well, this is far enough. This is good enough for John standards. So
I think what makes this game hard is just the timing of the enemy placement is a real bitch. Like they sat down when they made this game and they designed exactly where to place an enemy just so that it screws with you. Like I don't know how many times like you try to do something and boom, like bird shows up, smokes you, you fall in a pit. Person throwing swords throws up, smokes you in a pit. Like the way this game is set up, it's designed to be very, very, very difficult.
I get halfway through, so I get to Act 3.
So, Nick, you didn't get to see the massive spike because I want to say once you get really where John was, if I know where you are, John, is kind of a green level. You're on kind of like the ruins.
Yep.
That is where the game, I can make it through the whole game without dying up until that point, and then shit like hits the fan as soon as I get there.
Yeah. Those birds that fly back and forth, they take a good chunk of health. So that was probably the bane of my existence in this game up until the jetpack guys.
Those fucking dogs.
Yeah, there was a pretty big spike in like late 4. It was tough jumping on the ladders and just stuff coming at you while you're trying to jump. So you do have to eat damage in some spots, I noticed. You just got to take it and then move on.
So I had difficulty, and maybe that's why it was difficult for me. I had difficult using the items.
Really?
For some reason, I thought like, oh, maybe like I think I ended up getting to work randomly. Like I had to press the direction plus the attack.
Yeah.
And then I guess depending on what item you had a different direction plus attack. Is that correct?
No. So this game has a lot of similarities with Castlevania in that to use and there's a lot of similarities with Castlevania, but to use your specials, it's up and attack.
Yeah. There was a good variety.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Do you guys remember the various weapons that you get in this game?
Well, I had the throwing star, which was pretty nifty. I think it was good to hit some enemies from a range. I was trying to lock down the shuriken that, like, it was almost like a shield, where it just kept on going back and forth. Because I saw that through a playthrough. I'm like, oh, that'd be just a nifty one to play with, or I think it'd make this game a little bit easier running through.
Oh, the windmill? The one that's kind of like a boomerang that you just keep jumping over?
Yeah, the shadow shuriken, yeah.
Yep. It'll keep going, wiping out guys until it touches you. So that one's pretty cool. Yeah. There was also the art of the fire wheel, which lets you throw a bunch of fire in like an upward arc angle.
Yep. I like that one.
And then my favorite was the jump and slash, where you get like this, you spin in the air with your sword.
Spin move, like Samus.
Yeah. Yep. That thing was like a boss wrecker.
Yeah, it sucked the points down, though.
Yeah. Yep.
Your ninja meter. Yeah, that was tough. I used that too much, and then I got to the bosses and didn't have any left in the tank.
Do you guys know the story of this one at all?
Your father goes missing, right? And he leaves you a note and tells you got to go to America to find a scientist or archaeologist or something.
Yep.
And your father and that guy were looking for 2 artifacts that, if paired, were going to bring Armageddon.
Yeah, the statues.
And
yeah.
Because that chick gives you that first statue.
So Ninja Gaiden starts out on a battlefield, and it depicts Ken Hayabusa basically being slain by an unknown ninja. They're fighting in the middle of this field. And then Ken goes and on his death leaves a note for his son and tells his son Ryu, I'm going to fuck that up, to head to America to try to find the scientist Walter Smith, who's an acquaintance of Ken's. The game really doesn't specify why, just that you need to get your shit and head over to America, which is cool because it's all told in cutscenes, which I think,
I was so impressed by that.
I don't know of any game in this era that had cutscenes. I'm sure there had to have been ones before this, but for this episode, I was looking up trying to find like, what's your first game with a cutscene? And I think it's this. I couldn't find anything before. I'm sure there has to be something.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
Not any of the marquee side scroller titles like Double Dragon. I don't think that had them.
No.
Battletoads, Ninja Turtles.
Well,
yeah.
A lot of those are
Battletoads
afterwards.
had kind of like a weird
right.
cutscene. Battletoads had like Battletoads had I don't know if you could call it really a cutscene. It's kind of like with Battletoads, I think you saw the image of the person talking. Like it'd pull up randomly, like on your screen, like at the end of the level, and you just see the dialogue. This felt like it kind of felt like an interactive comic book.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like.
It was cool.
What I always thought was really weird about this game, I was thinking about this actually, because I was thinking about how weird it was to have cutscenes. This whole game was just weird in general for the time, because I think at the time they were doing everything in their power to kind of scrub like Japanese influence. Like you look at the Mega Man games, like the cartridges look nothing like the game you're getting. Like they had this, like they tried to Americanize it. One of the early Genesis games, like the artwork's shitty on it. It's like, well, we can't let people know this game was made in Japan. And like Ninja Gaiden, like they went the opposite direction. It's like, all right, yeah, the Japanese translation of this game is like Legend of the Dragon Sword or something like that.
Ours is
we're gonna call it
side story.
Ninja Gaiden. Like, what is the original story? No American knows what fucking Gaiden means. But like, what sounds cool. It's got ninjas, and ninjas at this point in time in the US were like hot shit. Like
huge
late 80s, early 90s, you couldn't swing a dead cat and not find something that had a ninja in it.
Because you had like Karate Kid coming out.
Yep.
You had everything with like Chuck Norris was still big. Van Damme was still huge.
Oh, what was that?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Best of the best. Do you guys remember that one?
Yes.
No.
I may have cried. I may have cried at the end of that movie.
With Eric Roberts.
Nick, that's because you're Italian. You cry at every movie.
It's a touching ending. The Koreans is touching, man. It's touching.
I think it's in that cabinet. I think the VHS is in that cabinet.
Is that something we might watch in a couple weekends?
Oh my God. John's going to bust out a box of VHS tapes.
Oh, it's not just a box.
So Nick, while John's digging through his box of VHS tapes, so yeah, they also so the name was Ninja Gaiden, which was weird because we wouldn't understand what Gaiden means. We didn't know it meant side story. And then they had anime cutscenes.
Yeah, it was like it was late 80s anime.
And that wasn't a big deal. You know what I mean? Like we didn't know what anime was back then. I mean, I'm sure some people did, but it wasn't popular.
It was weird because of well, if you think about it, it kind of, I mean, it probably kind of made it easier for when anime did come back into the US, because people don't realize that, Dragon Ball Z, oh my God, it is.
Is that a fucking Seagal movie?
No,
it's Eric Roberts, Seagal Jr.
Oh, Jesus.
I knew I had that.
Jesus Christ. It was great because, like I said, I enjoyed the cutscenes on this. And actually, the graphics for NES, I thought were pretty decent, actually. For being a 8-bit game, it was pretty solid.
I like the perspective in that a lot of NES games, you look at Mario, you're kind of straight on. Mm-hmm. This had kind of an isometric view. You had all the levels had a kind of depth to them. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the fact too, and I guess I don't know how to phrase this. I feel like when you play a lot of ninja games, oh, ninjas, we're going to take you back to feudal Japan. And this was one of the ones that's kind of like Ninja Turtles, and it was cool in that, well, it took place in urban environments. You've got ninjas fighting guys with machine guns.
Right.
You've got ninjas out there fighting, rocket launchers and demons, and they're in America. They're on the streets of New York. You've got, people like boxers and stuff, which
it's everybody, man. You're fighting every stereotype bad guy.
I like that too. That like you end up in New York, like the first level's in New York, and or in the U.S. I don't know if it specifies New York. I just always assumed it was. But everyone is out to get you. Like it's just
swarms, man.
it's like classic 1980s. Like New York is a fucking shithole, and like
Right?
you're gonna get raped as you've walked 5 feet down the street.
Every game in that time span, it was just like ghetto city backdrop. Like everything crime just looks dingy.
Well, wasn't New York a real shithole in the 80s?
Yeah,
There was a lot of problems then. Yeah.
Every section of New York looked like streets of rage.
Oh shit.
Oh man. So let's see. Story wise, I might as well go through some of it. So your bosses in this game are known as the Malice 4. So in the first world, you fight the Barbarian.
Yeah.
In a place called Jay's Bar. So according to the manual, the Barbarian is known as the executioner of South America and is feared by the natives. The Barbarian uses the Amazon rainforest of Brazil as his hideout. That's a great place to hide out. What'd you guys think of that boss?
That was pretty easy.
Yeah.
You could one hit him, right? With
if
the
you
spin.
had a lot of the bosses, if you had the spin jump, I was watching a video on how that works. It's like when the game goes and calculates each frame of the spin jump does 1 damage. So if you just hover with that, it just keeps racking up the damage for every frame that you're in the middle of it.
Jesus.
So you just walk into that level and just like slice the dude to shit.
The first boss, I think it took me 3 swings with my sword. That was it. Yeah. Jump over, swing, hit him. Jump over, swing, hit him.
Yep. The second level. So in the second level, basically what happens, you get upon defeating the Barbarian. Basically, Ryu meets Irene Liu. I don't think you know her name at this point. She shoots you, and then you wake up in a cell door. Shoots you with a tranquilizer, and basically gives you a demon statue, and then tells you, basically lets you escape. So that brings you, this outpost, and then you run through this valley, and that's when you fight the second boss, and that's Bomberhead. Yeah, so this is a guy. Yeah, he walks back and forth, and he's spinning his little stick around.
Oh yeah.
So in the third act, you meet up with Walter Smith. Ryu learns of his father's travels and everything with the rainforest. Receives this, you get this huge history lesson of what's going on with the demon statues. So basically, these statues are representative of a demon, and they were split into 2, the light demon and the dark demon. So Ryu has one of them. What happens is when Dr. Smith and Ryu are talking, a ninja sneaks up and steals the demon statue, and you're basically tasked with tracking it down. Yeah, that brings you to the third level. The third level's on the lake, and you're scaling the mountains. And the boss of the third level is the Massacre. It's weird. A lot of bosses have like French last names in this, or French names in this. He was a member of an organization called the 5 Ranges of Doom, but was thrown out because of his sadistic methods. I love the manual for this. So, like in any good like 1980s style plot, Act 4 begins with you meet up with a high up guy in the CIA, and they talk about Dr. Smith gets killed. And then when you're there with Dr. Smith as he's dying, the CIA shows up, and the CIA gives you this whole backstory about the bad guy of the game, which is the Jacquio. And basically they give you an ultimatum, and you have to show up and get everything back. So the 5th level is when you meet the Jacquio. Jacquio shows that he's captured Irene and forces you to give up the statue. And as you're doing this, you're dropped into a pit, and Irene is sent to be sacrificed. So this lives you, like, you basically got to escape out of a prison, and you got to scale a mountainside. And this is where you face Bloody Moth. So Bloody Moth is the last of the Malice 4. He's actually the ninja that was fighting your father at the start of the game. Yeah, he was kind of an interesting boss. I mean, really, you just trade punches with him and hope to win. But Mouth basically gives you kind of a plot dump at the end that your father's not dead. So that sends you on to the last level, which is nuts. So the boss of the last level, so you have to actually fight. The boss is a 3-phase boss, which is a complete bitch.
It was like it varied in difficulty for the bosses. The first one was easy, and then like the second one was hard. Third one was easy. Like it didn't progress. It was like the one that jumped over you was a piece of cake.
Oh, really? So you found that guy easier than the second guy?
Yeah. The two guys that jumped over you, you could just, as long as you killed that first one, the second one had a jump pattern that you could kind of.
Well, that's what these games ultimately came down to, is the pattern.
Yeah.
Just to be able to recognize the pattern easily. So,
right, you almost had to go through each stage once, like so you could figure out where the guy's going to come, because you could jump and then not see what's coming, and it would just hit you.
It's a game. I almost like think of this game, and this is just my pea brain and how I rationalize things. It's kind of the midpoint between Castlevania and Mega Man. And that like the gameplay itself is very reminiscent of Castlevania. You know, you collect items, you throw up for items. The enemy placement kind of reminds me of Castlevania. But Castlevania is like a very deliberate game. Like if you jump and you fuck up, you'll know it. You don't need to keep going. You need to stop and reassess why you fucked up. Mega Man's one of those games where like you just keep going. Like you fuck up, you got to keep moving, or otherwise you're going to take more damage. And Ninja Gaiden kind of falls in the middle of that. It's like, yes, the enemy placement's similar, but you need to keep moving. The game has a rhythm, and if you're knocked off that rhythm, you are fucked.
Really? Matt, how long did it take you to beat this game?
30 something years. Actually, no, it's not true. I've never beaten this game without save stating, and I've been playing it since I was like 5. I can't beat the boss, and I know
that
like
last boss is insane.
Some legit listeners are like, "What the fuck?" So like, I can get to the last boss. I mean, I can speed run this thing. I mean, I bet I can get to the last boss in maybe 15, 20 minutes. I don't know what the actual record is.
Do you want to know the fastest? Now, this is speed run, so I don't know if there's any glitching in this at all.
Yeah.
But the top 3 speed runs are 11 minutes and 38 seconds and 67 milliseconds. Yep. 11 minutes and 38 seconds and 367 milliseconds.
Jeez.
Top 2 is held by 2 Americans. Then third is 11 minutes and 44 seconds and 237 milliseconds, held by someone in Japan.
Nice. I can do it in about 20. I can get to the last boss, and I would say about 20 minutes. I think that's probably accurate. I can get all the way up to 5-3 normally without dying. And then once I get into 6, it's kind of a crapshoot. Like 6 is a dick. 6-2 is like rated one of the most like stupid NES levels ever, because of just the enemy placement and the fact that they keep spawning birds and the jumping guys, and they've got this like sword throwing bitch right where you need to jump, and if you die, you don't have a weapon, and you have no means to go get it. So it's like, don't die.
Yeah.
The only way you can get by them without a weapon is like to glitch the game a little bit, like walk off the screen. It'll make the sword throwing lady disappear. And then you walk back just at the right time that she's gone for good.
Yeah.
And then you have to worry about the birds and the jumping guys and whatever. But the thing that like stops you from dying is gone.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that you could make them disappear with just a movement off screen a little bit, or that was a relief. 'Cause damn, like the refresh when you get hit, and then your limited invincibility after you get hit is nothing. Like for Mega Man, like you said, you mess up and you blink for like a second or maybe a second and a half, and you can just walk through things. But this one, it's like you land after your jump and then you take a hit again. It's brutal.
Sorry, I'm looking through the rules for entering your speed run right now. It's kind of funny. Obviously, rule 1. beat the game. Timing starts when you gain control of Rio. Timing ends when the timer reaches 000 after defeating the demon statue. Pardon me. Please don't use milliseconds unless your time is lower than 11 minutes and 50 seconds. Left plus right is not allowed. Turbo is not allowed.
I don't know what that even means.
Left plus right
is not allowed. So I don't know if it's a way of glitching or...
Must be.
There's emulator specific rules. Reset / power on from the previous run must be included to your run submission video. Specify the emulator used for the run, its version, and comment in the comments. It is strongly encouraged to enable frame counter and display of input. If your run is faster than 12 minutes and 10 seconds, you will be required to have a frame counter clearly showing in parentheses, no movie and display of input. Exceptions can be made if you're a player that has shown a history of live streamed runs. Multiple inputs remapping, like down plus A on a single key, is not allowed. There's banned emulators, so you can't use Messen, GoTVG, RetroArch, or JNES.
I understand why they'll ban you from doing, was it down an A or down an B? So there's a button combination, like, I can't remember how the frames work in this game, but if you hold down when using your sword can attack more times than if you're not holding down. You have to jump and hit down. And if you hit attack, you can spam attack a lot quicker. You don't go through all the frames. So, like, that's always been my thing when I try to beat the last boss is, like, can I spam attacks and try to do that? And I get fucked up. I cannot beat that last boss. But everyone that I've watched that speedruns that does that, when you get to the bosses, they just mash on down and B and it just wipes them out. John, what else am I missing on this one? We've restarted so many times, I don't actually know what I've covered and what I haven't.
We did the story. We did gameplay, boss fights, development.
Touch on the weapons a little bit.
Yep. And we did the weapons.
You guys didn't get to experience the other ports because you guys just played the original on NES.
Right. Yeah. What's up with those?
I sent you a video of when it was ported over to the TurboGrafx or PC Engine by Hudson.
Oh, that was horrible.
That was a goddamn abomination.
The background, dude, the frame rate or whatever didn't gel.
They tried to, like, I don't know what they were thinking, but they tried to make it look like you had parallax scrolling. They tried to Genesis it.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know what it was, but it was awful. Like, it was jerky and I don't know. The music sucked. Not all that great. And then we have this little gem right here when it was ported to the Super Nintendo. That also gets criticized by a lot of people in that it gets a lot of slowdown and the music sucks.
Is that how you played it?
No, I played it legit. I have the real copy. I actually got the second one too. I don't have the third one. The third one I'm not a fan of. But yeah.
Well, it wasn't really a punishment.
It wasn't
It was not a punishment. Sorry. Like, you made this, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a fuck you game. It was actually really enjoyable.
And that surprises me because I pictured John frothing at the mouth.
I mean, it was doable because I could just rewind when I needed to. I got it. It was hard, but the patterns made sense to me. I did not like Battle of Olympus because you had to go talk to everybody, and then whatever Medusa did, I just no. I was like, I'm done. Never playing that game again, unless they remade it on the Switch.
And then you could save state it and you'd be all right.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, man, it was tough. It was a little repetitive. I'm not in love with the regular Nintendo games as much.
So
it was my second console as a kid. I got the Super first, and then I got a regular like a year later. And I didn't have a good collection of games on there. They were okay. So it wasn't one that I was drawn to like you were. So I don't know. It's just it's not a bias, but it's just a lack of nostalgia for me. I guess the same with Sega.
I was like Matt though. I had the NES first, and I played the NES first, so I knew someone always had it, and then moved on to Sega after that. Then SNES, but this game it felt nostalgic. It felt nice playing it, even though I never played it before. So, like I said, I played on NES. I played a lot of the Ninja Turtles games, and that's what it kind of felt like for me because you're in New York, and I mean that game for NES is, I think, one of the hardest ones as well. But like I said, one thing I enjoyed for this, I mean, besides the only thing that really pissed me off was the respawning. That respawning was that was a bitch and a half.
And the birds.
Those birds, dude.
Like this, like the dog would freaking knock me off, or whatever I was doing, or knock me onto. I was in mid jump, and the dog somehow jumped as well, and it knocked me into the wall, and I clinged onto the wall randomly. But
how'd you guys handle the wall climb? I think we haven't talked about that yet. How'd you guys handle that whole ordeal?
It would have been nice if they had the ability to actually climb the wall, not jump on the wall, jump off. So you're looking at what can I jump onto?
Jump. Like,
would you guys ever figure out how to climb the wall and then, you jump off the wall and you keep hitting back and you kind of keep going up?
I was trying to do that. I spent a half an hour before trying to get that. Like I said, I was playing emulated on a little device, so I don't know if that hurt me, if the input was proper or if there was any lag on it, but I was having no luck.
If it makes you feel better, this bad boy right here added the ability to climb up any wall. You don't have to do the jump thing. They added it so you can climb back up and down the walls without having to do all that bullshit. So I wasn't going to have you play the fairer of the ones in the series. So and I wouldn't have you play 3 because fuck that game. But yeah, so if you guys were to rank this game, give it a score, we'll do the ranking in a sec. How would you score this thing? What would be your score? I think we typically do 1 to 10.
Yeah, I'd put it like a 7.5, 8. It was solid.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. 7.5. If we do halves,
fair enough. I think I'm in the 8s.
Yeah,
I think what it offered for gaming and that it introduced again cutscenes. We can't stress that enough how crazy that is. And then I just think control wise, it's rock solid. And I enjoy a game that kicks you in the dick a little bit. So the fact that they pulled no punches on this one, they just
right.
fuck you Americans. We're gonna leave in a glitch because fuck you. I like that. So we haven't recorded in a while, or at least we've slacked off on our rankings because I've been asking you guys the past couple episodes to rank our gaming list. And we didn't do this on Mega Bomberman, and we didn't do this on Quackshot. But I now have the updated list. So again, our ranking is the average of our votes. Let's see. So where are our games now? Scrolling down through the list when we average it out, John, you placed, Let's take a look right here. Ninja Gaiden was your 22 pick. And then Quackshot was 29. And then where's Mega Bomberman for you? 20. Nick, you placed Ninja Gaiden in your 18 spot. You placed Quackshot. You placed Mega Bomberman at 16 and Quackshot at 15. I placed Ninja Gaiden in my 12 spot. I put Mega Bomberman at 23. I had Quackshot at 28. So, the new and revised ranking going from the bottom up, Quackshot now lives in between Nights into Dreams and Star Fox 2. Mega Bomberman now lives in between Aladdin on SNES and Silhouette Mirage. And Ninja Gaiden is now living between ActRaiser and Pokemon Crystal.
We got a random smattering of games.
I think the problem with our group ranking is that we have 32 or 34 games or something crazy like that ranked so far. And we're all like, with the exception of Body Harvest, we're fighting over sevens. So we're splitting hairs. It's like, well, this game is a slightly better 7 than this game. And then there's like a huge drop for like, TMNT Back from the Sewers. Like, I know we had some problems with it. There's a long drop between that and Body Harvest. Like Space Station Silicon Valley is like 5 away from Body Harvest. It's amazing, like the steep drop in quality. So we've got to start picking some shitty games.
All right.
I'm just going to Google shitty games.
Yep. That's my research for next time, right?
It's getting too chummy. Now, I don't remember the order because we've delayed this. It's not Metal Gear Solid. We'll never be playing that again. It's not. We'll play Metal Gear Solid when one of you assholes pick it, because if I pick it, we're not going to play it. John, I believe you have next pick, right?
Yes.
What shall we be playing?
Well, 'tis the season for a spooky game. So I wanted to do Clock Tower. I don't know what system it's on.
PS1 and Super Nintendo.
All right. Good enough. Let's make it happen. I'll look up to see which one, if they vary at all.
So, hold on, John. Hold on, Nick. You are committing to this game no matter if you like it or not. No changes.
Nope.
Nick, you can look into his blue eyes, his contact-colored eyes. He will not be changing the game.
No change.
No need to read Discord.
Okay. Clock Tower it is.
Why is this game stupid?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. It was a spooky game. I looked real quick for spooky games.
It wasn't ported in the US, so I have some theories that it may be not up your alley. I think it was fan translated, and I don't know if the PS1 version was a fan translation or not. I know the series eventually came over here, but the Super Nintendo one was fan translated, so...
Yeah, I think I played the later ones. So...
Well, I like it. Well, Nick, you're our takeout guy. Do you want to take us out?
I don't hack up a lung. Sorry, my allergies are really kicking in right now, and it doesn't help that I've been cleaning my office. So a bunch of cat hair, unfortunately, everywhere. We are on, as John actually said earlier, we have a Discord channel. Please feel free to join. You can actually connect with us there. We talk about games, what you don't like. You can complain to John, as always, as he likes it. So it gets him hard. Just kidding. Not really. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter, Spindash Retro for both. We are on everywhere where you can listen to podcasts as well. So if you like Apple iTunes, if you like Spotify and Google Podcast, we're also on what's some other ones? Stitcher as well. So we are wherever you can listen to podcasts. Please leave comments. Let us know, what you guys think, even if they're hateful. We don't care. We really don't. We look forward to them. If anything, if we can find the most hateful and spiteful one of honest opinion, we may make a T-shirt of it. So put it on there. Well, my computer is not plugged in and it's going to die soon. So
Jesus fuck.
It's not our night, guys.
Matt, end this quick. Get this shit going. We're done.
We're done. We're done. Fuck it. We're out.